This video covers the topic of stem cells found in paper 1 in the AQA GCSE Biology paper. So, what are stem cells? Well, stem cells are undifferentiated cells, so they're not specialised, that have not specialised to perform a specific function. They can create more stem cells or differentiate and become a different type of body cell to perform another function. Stem cells are found in 3 places. First place is in embryos, so for example human embryos, so after a cell has been fertilised and it starts to divide, the initial divisions, and the stem cells in embryos can differentiate into most cell types, and they can actually produce all of the cell types that make up an organism. There are also adult stem cells, so in human adults, stem cells can be found in places like the bone marrow and in other tissue. So in bone marrow, they make red blood cells. Adult stem cells can differentiate into fewer cell types than stem cells in embryos. They are used in your body to replace dying cells and damaged tissues, and also used for growth. Plants also have stem cells, and they are found in what we call the meristem tissue. So this is growing tips of shoots and leaves. So they can differentiate into all types of plant cell throughout the life of the plant, which is very different to animals, and this allows plants to grow for their whole lives. Please pause and answer the following questions. Press play for the answers. So, what can stem cells be used for? Well, stem cells may be able to replace damaged cells in the body, and stem cells could replace the damaged cells that cause things such as diabetes or paralysis. In plants, stem cells could be used to clone plants, so they can be used to quickly and cheaply produce cloned plants. This could help to protect rare plant species from extinction and create a large population of plants with special features such as disease resistance. Stem cells could be used to protect rare species, so rare animal and plant species, so rare species could be cloned to protect them from extinction. An area of interest for research at this moment in time is called therapeutic cell cloning. So this is a process that produces an embryo with the same genes as the patient. So they take an adult stem cell and make it behave like an embryo. So this means that the patient's body will not reject the body cells made from the embryo stem cells. This method could treat many medical problems. So if we have a look at this diagram, you can see an adult stem cell there, okay, so the cell from the patient, and the nucleus is transferred to a donor egg cell. So they take a human egg cell, remove the nucleus and discard it, and replace it with the adult stem cell there. And it's stimulated to divide, and then it produces lots of stem cells, and then the stem cells from the embryo are cultured for therapeutic use. So as you can see, stem cells can be used for many different medical, scientific and commercial purposes. Pause and answer the following questions. Press play for the answers. Okay, so we have seen the advantages and the potential benefits of stem cells, but there are also some disadvantages and some risks of their use. So if we look at this first one. So in the laboratory, when they are producing the stem cells, they're culturing these stem cells, they could be contaminated with a virus, which when placed back into the patient, which would then cause a disease. Second problem would be related to cell mutations. So in the research of stem cells, mutations have been observed and from stem cells that have been cultured over a number of times or generations, and some mutated stem cells have been observed to behave like cancer cells, which is probably the last thing you want to do, is to introduce cancerous cells to a patient. There are also some key ethical issues. As it says here, for therapeutic cloning, is it right to create embryos for therapy and then destroy them in the process? Embryos could come to be viewed as a commodity and not as an embryo that could develop into a life or into a person. And at what stage of its development should an embryo be regarded as and treated as a person? Some people also believe that life begins at conception, so that's at the fertilization stage of the egg. In the exam, they really like to look at what we call evaluation questions. So when I say evaluate, you need to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of stem cell research, particularly things like therapeutic cell cloning. Pause and answer the following questions. Press play for answers. Okay, here are some summary multiple choice questions. I would probably pause and have a go at these questions. Okay, and here are the answers. 1 is A, 2 is D, 3 is A, 4 is C, 5 is B, and 6 is D. I hope you found this video useful. Please do subscribe to DrBiology for more GCSE Biology revision videos.